remember how I told you I'm going to show you how to make stock? So, if you're in a restaurant, look what we get, like 20 kilos of veal bones. This is what we make stock from. Still frozen. But, so, you know, if you've got a really nice butcher that you can order 20 kilos of veal bones, you're in business. And this is what we do in the restaurant. But what I was thinking, I just go to the butcher and I try and figure it out just like I'm you. So here I am. I go to the butcher, so I say, what's your cheapest cut of beef or veal that I can make some stock with? And, you know, he suggested these rib bones, which is good because that's normally what we use. This is like kind of the neck and the spine, but normally these big rib bones are good stuff. So I was thinking, yeah, that could work, but I just bought 1 kilo just to see what it would do. And then I got some chicken drumsticks, which are cheap. So, and I also bought a pot of this beef stock, which doesn't look like much, but I just wanted to see what it would do. If that works for you guys, then you're okay. But okay. Anyway, we're gonna just sort of reduce it. I'm gonna reduce it and see what it does. Okay. In the meantime, if we can chop this up a bit, that would be great. So you need one. You got one of these, right? Good girl. So you're just gonna. The more kind of surface area, not that you want to chop it up in tiny little pieces, but the more surface area you can get colored, the more flavor you're going to get, because the whole thing is the flavor comes from the way that you color it, and the color is basically what we call sugars, meat sugars. And you want to open the bone up a little bit as well, because you want that bone marrow that's going to give you thickening. This guy, let's see if I can chop that. So you always want to work with the heel of your knife. I'm going to try and do something like this. I don't think it's going to cut, but no. No. Okay. So I'm just going to try and take some of that meat off. Now this is just like rough stuff, you know. I don't really care what it's all about because you're just going to cook it for a long time. But again, get some surface area on there. Okay guys, so we're just going to put that bone in, hope for the best. Or if you've got a man with a shed out back with a, one of those big table saws, you could get him to chop that up for you, but we're going to be fine. Okay, so it's going to look like this. I'm going to do all that for you, and then we got onions and carrots is all I put in. I don't put celery in, but that's my thing. Onions and carrots, about 20% the weight of this. So you've got a couple kilos here, so maybe, you know, 500 grams of that stuff. And I'm going to chop that up for you and then show you what. There's your meat. I chopped it all up for you. So I've got just over 2 kilos of total meat, and then I've chopped up onion and carrot for you, and big pieces because we're going to be cooking this for a few hours. So you're going to chop it big when you're going to cook for a long time, right? And what else was I going to tell you? Okay, so a bit of neutral oil. You need some oil to get color, but be careful of putting too much on because you don't want a fried taste. You want a roasted taste. So, and also don't season your stock ever, because then you can do all your seasoning later. So remember I told you about putting the right amount of stuff in the right size pan. So don't overfill your pan because then it will start releasing juice, and you don't want that. You want this seared and brown, and you don't want to have the juice released. So make sure it's hot when you put it in. Don't overcrowd it. I think I'm just going to throw the bones in the oven. I'm not going to get them doing much of anything in the pan. I'm just going to, the bone part, I cut the meat off, and I'm going to roast them up in the oven. And what I was going to do over here is just reduce some of this stock to see what it does. You notice I'm always doing stuff in a shallow pan. Like if I want something to reduce quickly, I put it in an open pan like this. So we don't have to stand here for an hour trying to reduce something in a casserole, you know. So I'm going to throw these babies in the oven. I'm going to put a little bit more oil in there just to get that brown. So the whole idea here is to get as much color as you can without burning it, and also in the bottom of your pan. Anything that gets stuck to your pan, you want those juices. Now this is messy, smelly business, so cover yourself up. You see, this is quite a full pan over here, but this flame is really hot, so it's not, releasing anything. I'm still coloring and browning, and there's no water being released, okay? So keep your flames high and just keep it moving around a bit. And the same thing. Hola! It's super salty for one thing. Okay, so it doesn't work. This is why you never salt your stock, because you want to reduce it and make a sauce. It's like total salt because your salt is really concentrated. So don't buy that one. Okay, did I tell you want 20% veg for the weight of your meat? So that's about 2 kilos. This is 2 onions, 2 carrots. The weight was about 600, which is more than I told you, but because we're making such a small quantity, I'm going to put a little bit more, but not that much actually. It might be too much, because don't forget, like this is sweet. Carrots is sweet, onion is sweet, so if you put too much in, you're going to get too much sweetness, which is going to alter the flavor. Okay, 20% is good. You don't have to use it more. Okay guys, so look, I want to show you something. Because I've got this hot, right? I told you to do it hot. I've got lots of brown in the bottom of my pan. Try and get a look at that. See? Okay, so I want that brown, but I want more brown off of this meat. So I want to get the sugar out of the pan and continue to cook the meat. Okay? So please do this right, because it won't be good if we don't do this. So if I were in the restaurant, I'm just going to grab another pan, get it hot, and keep going. But I'm going to pretend I'm at home, and I've only got 1 pan, 2 pans. So I'm going to put this on the tray. And I'm going to get the sugar. Get some water on. Okay, so what you want to do is deglaze these pans to get that sugar. Because this is your flavor right there. You got a whole meal right there. So you want to get all these sugars out. little bit in there. So now you remember the rule of the kitchen, don't ever cook in a dirty pan, right? So you've got to clean these up. Same time, the best way to do that is to keep it hot. Wipe it out with paper. Get all your stuff out of there. So these pans are not great. Get all your stuff out of there. Excuse me. Wipe it out with paper. So this way you're not losing a lot of time. If you really don't think it's clean enough, clean it in the sink. But then make sure you bring it back up to temperature before you put it back in, okay? Because if you don't, it's going to be releasing those juices that I told you don't want to do. Okay, that might be okay for that stuff. A little bit more maybe. You know, if you get some oil in there, again, don't put so much oil that it's a kind of a frying thing. You don't want fried meat, right? But you want to have brown, and if there's oil in there, it doesn't matter, because afterwards, we're going to chill it in the fridge, and you can just scrape all the oil right off the top. Okay? That's hot. I'm going to try and get these big pieces in here. Also roast this in the oven if you want. Alright, I'm going to throw that in the pot. Deglaze your pan. Always deglaze and make sure you've got nothing burnt in there. You don't want to deglaze anything burnt. If you do, then just get rid of it and don't use it. Like there's a bit burnt. But it's not burnt. You could roast this up in the oven. I'm just showing you a kind of quick way so we can get on with it. Wow. Okay, look guys, so at this point you're going to take out anything that's getting cooked. Alright, so just keep your eye on it. Anything that's getting brown, just take it out. Put it in your pot. And then you can get maximum off of everything. Okay, over here I had a little bit too much oil. So look, I also want to show you how to fix things. You got a bit of oil in there, just get it out. Okay, you just take some paper towel, stick it in there, get some of that oil. So you don't have any of that fried taste that I told you about. So that, whoops, don't eat the paper. Alright. Alright, we're getting quite dark here. You don't want to take a risk of getting over brown, but it looks good. You see the color you got there? Alright, so what else I'm going to put in here is, alright, that's enough. Alright, so this is basically what you want, as much color as you can get without burning it. Pretty glaze. See all that nice juice you got in there with a nice color, so I didn't burn it. And I've got all this nice flavor. Take it over here. Glaze. Our stock. It's been cooking about 4 hours. We're going to cook it some more. Have a look. Okay. See that there's. I forgot to tell you, I added some bay leaf and some thyme and some stems from parsley. Okay. But like I told you, I didn't put any wine and I didn't put any garlic and I didn't put any celery. You can put garlic if you like it. You can put wine if you like it, but I don't see the point of cooking wine for like 8 hours because it doesn't do anything to it. But, you know, people do it. Okay, so for me, what I wanted to make for you and what I think you should make to do anything is just a pure meat base. So we've got just chicken. So I'll show you how this can, if you want some now, you can use it, right? I'm just going to show you, we're going to cook it down. Remember that stuff we cooked down earlier from the shop? So this is already, we're going to give you something. We're going to see. Remember we did that, reduction for guinea fowl? So I'll show you how this will turn into a sauce. And we can put some herbs in it. Okay, so, you know, with your base, say you want a rosemary sauce, there's your rosemary, there's your stock. It's like so easy. When you've got this base, you can do anything. I'll give you another one. Red wine sauce. You put your wine now. You reduce your wine down. Reduce the alcohol out. And look. T'as un torchon quoi? And that's it. See what I mean? You just take your stock and you can make a sauce in seconds. Yum. Okay. Red wine sauce. Cook out your wine. Yum. Our stock is good. Chicken and got beef ribs. Rosemary from the bottom. So that's French cuisine, guys. You got your stock and you do everything from there. And we did it. I told you we were going to do it. Remember that? Yeah, a few more hours. This is fine. Even now it's good, but you know, we can break down those bones, get a little bit more gelatin going in there. Anyway, I just want to show you a bit of red wine sauce. Show you how easy it is. After you've got this, then faster. If you put them in, you know, these little casseroles, you can be there for a while, reducing in that little close. But when it's all closed, it's really hard to reduce. Just open it out and let it reduce. But before you put your butter in, you've got to, you know, get a certain texture here. Quite thick. And then a little knob of butter in there. And that's it. Of course, I'm just doing a tiny quantity to show you. Okay? Veal stock.